And for me, it's absolutely clear that my father is still there. He's still alive in the spiritual realm, and I don't feel being so disconnected. It's not. I do not feel him like he has gone or something. He's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is absolutely sure. And okay, and this is my experience is a completely different. It's more or less the opposite. And I'm the only child. I have no sisters, nothing. So it's the opposite. But when it comes to sexuality, relationships, and also the spiritual experiences, it's also the opposite. Because, I mean, you had your fun and so many women and stuff. But for me, it was the absolute opposite. It was horrible. I had some relationships, two were like, one was 5.5 years. The second one was 7.5 years. And we were married for a short time. And there were just a few girls in between, just a few, like 2 or 3, okay, nothing more. And everything I ever experienced, it was a disaster. It started extremely intense, very, very fairy tale like from the feelings, extremely intense, extremely. But after a short time, it got a nightmare. And in between, okay, there were like peaceful times, sometimes beautiful times, but in general, it was like a crash. Yes, it was horrible. The last long-term relationship, we broke up 5 times. And after we broke up, after the 4th time, we married. And then we broke up finally and divorced. And when I came out of this, I was so destroyed.
Yeah, that's almost exactly what happened to me with my last part. Well, the woman I married, we were together for 7 years. We broke up 5 times, but on the 4th time, I told her that I would marry her. We got back together. We were married for 4 months, and then she left, and then I never saw her again, and I've never seen her again in 18 years. So it was a very sexual relationship, and we had a lot of good times. But after 18 months, I would feel like I needed to be free. Then she would feel that I'm not committing to her the next time. And then the first time I wanted to be free. I didn't want to be bound. The second time, after 18 months, she was feeling that this relationship's going nowhere because I'm not committing to her. So she said, "Oh, it's over." And then we got back together again. And then after 18 months, we both separated. And then the last time, we married for the wrong reasons. We both thought that marriage was going to maybe solve it. It wasn't. It didn't, and it was. It just ended one day. She sent me a text and she said, "I've left you," and I never saw her again. And so yeah, I mean, so that's curious. Your relationship being very on par, with mine like that.
Yes, that's strange. It's special, okay? It's a strange coincidence.
Yeah.
Very strange. Well, yes, it was similar, very similar. We also married for the wrong reasons. We also thought it would fix it. And yes, but it didn't fix it at all. We had a honeymoon. We were in Barcelona in Spain. And great honeymoon. While it was very exhausting for me, but still, I did my best. Okay. But then things fell apart again, finally, and broke up. So, yes, I was done. I was done because I could not have experienced the illusion of worldly love in a more drastic way. because I mean, I never told anyone, okay, this is a detail, but it doesn't matter. It's about this topic. Yes. So when we started our relationship, we were really in love with each other, and she was so in love with me. She wrote a book, like, I don't know, maybe 100 pages. She bought a book empty with empty pages, and she wrote "I love you" on each page. I love you,
Wow.
I love you, I love you,
Wow.
I love you. And that's way through the book, from the beginning to the end. And it was so intense. And yes, of course, yes, we had intimacy quite a lot. And it seemed to be perfect. But in this way, okay, the rest was not perfect at all. In the beginning, it was nice, but then also things fell apart. But intimacy was wonderful. But after a year, I started to get lower and lower, and I drained out. It was like yes, I had no power anymore.
Mm.
And this is where I experienced all this intimacy was, of course, it came with also with experiences. I had spiritual experiences, yes, and they reflected what I did. This intimacy had consequences on the spiritual level, and these consequences were not good at all. There were horrible consequences, really very bad consequences, and I've seen that, and it had a price, yes. So, and then everything, like, horribly, it broke up, and in the end, it was just everything was broken, destroyed, completely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the point where I really understood that worldly love is not reliable.
So, did your mother give you worldly love?
Yes, she did.
And was that reliable?
Partially, yes, to a certain degree, but I can't complain in any way. I
No.
can't complain.
So therefore, I mean, usually, if we don't have a good experience with our mother, then we're never going to have a good experience with anybody.
This is what they say. This is what they say. But I can't complain. My experience with my mother is more or less perfect, I
Right.
could say.
Yeah.
And I went into all relationships with all trust, all hope, all positivity, just completely naive. Yes. And still, it was horribly failing. Everything failed.
Mm. Mm.
So, but the interesting thing is that this feeling like, okay, it doesn't make sense. I don't want that. I want to stay on my own. No woman anymore. Finish. And this was exactly what I needed to make spiritual progress.
Oh, me also.
Yes.
And
The
so,
moment. Yes.
for the past 14 years, I tried to have a relationship very tentatively 4 times, and every single time was a disaster. Um,
Okay.
that just the sex. I just couldn't feel it. I didn't. Uh, I think I was doing it just to because I remembered that I used to enjoy it, but uh, something within me was just going, "You don't need this anymore. You don't want this anymore. You can't afford to have your energy drained by a partner. You've got work to do." And so for the 14 years, that's what I've been doing. Solitude. You absolutely need solitude. And I can't have anybody else draining my energy. It just wouldn't work. And so